is a delicacy. So first you must spread the almond butter with maple syrup. Can't forget that. Now the fun part, our juicy pickles. So I like to make a nice, even row all the way across. Here we go, my favorite. Every time. What's up, I'm Ashley, and I promise I'm not totally weird, but I'm kind of weird. One of the weird things about me is that I love almond butter and pickle sandwiches. Have you ever had one? I bet you it's better than any sandwich you can make. Have you ever experienced something so amazing and incredible, just like my amazing creation, that you just had to tell somebody about it right away? Like you just couldn't wait to share it. You have to try this. In addition to my incredible almond butter and pickle masterpiece, there was an incredible experience I had, guys. I met Oprah Winfrey. I was on a boat, on a cruise. I was at the buffet, getting pizza, French fries, looking for almond butter and pickle sandwiches. And I turn around and Oprah's there. And I think I remember dropping the tray that I had. All I remember is that I had something in my hand before I saw her. But by the time I started talking to her, my hands were completely empty and shaking and sweating. And she just shook my hand and said, hello. And I didn't wash my hand for the rest of the day. It's true. I barely even finished my food because I had to run and go tell someone what just happened. Chances are you've experienced something like this too, right? Maybe your amazing and awesome experience wasn't exactly mine, but I think you still probably know the feeling I'm talking about. It's that feeling when you experience something so cool and exciting and amazing and incredible that you're bursting to tell someone about it. Talking about your favorite movie or really cool concert or making the game-winning play with the people in your life is pretty easy. Sharing those experiences is natural and fun. Now guys, I'm about to take it there, okay? I want you to think about this. Do you feel the same way about sharing your faith? If you've made the decision to follow Jesus, then you know that's pretty exciting. It's an experience you might even want to share. But actually sharing it, actually talking about it with the people in your life, that's another story. Let's be honest. That's because talking about Jesus can be awkward. If we're following Jesus, it can be uncomfortable to bring it up to others. We don't know what to say or how to say it. And we definitely don't want to make other people feel awkward when we bring it up. And if we aren't sure about following Jesus ourselves, it can be uncomfortable when somebody else brings it up. We may not know what we think about it, so we try to change the subject or avoid the conversation altogether. Some of us don't share our faith because we think it means being confrontational. We think it means defending God and standing up for the Bible in really loud and maybe even annoying ways. Talking about following Jesus in that way can feel like a big conflict or confrontation. For most of us, that's not something we want to do. Or maybe we think sharing our faith with others means having all the answers about everything. We're supposed to know all the who, what, why, when, and how of the Bible. But because we don't know it all, and honestly, nobody does, we're afraid that if we start sharing our faith, we'll end up without an answer to someone's question. We'll end up looking like we really don't know what we're talking about, or like our faith isn't really that strong. Maybe you're nervous about sharing your faith because you aren't all that sure about it yourself. How can you tell someone else about how great and amazing it is to follow Jesus when you don't always feel like it is? How can you share a faith that you're just not so sure about? Here's the thing. Following Jesus is amazing. And when you make the decision to live your life following him, it's an exciting, incredible, big deal. It's the one you want to share with other people. So right now, I want you to silently ask yourself, how do I do it? How do I share what following Jesus has done for me in a way that isn't awkward or confrontational or nerve-wracking or arrogant? Okay, guys, really think about it. Okay, come back. Stop thinking. Those are really hard questions, right? It's just not so simple. Or is it? So what do we do? Well, I think it starts by looking to the one you're following. Jesus himself. Because when we do, I think we'll get a glimpse of what it really means to share him with the people we know and love. Lucky for us, there are several places in scripture that show us how important it was to Jesus that we share our faith with others. And what's cool is that they also give us an idea of exactly how to do that. The books of the Bible, known as the New Testament, are the accounts and letters written after Jesus came to earth. They're stories of people who made the decision to follow him and then dedicated their lives to sharing that with others. It's pretty cool, right? The first 4 books in the New Testament are known as the Gospels, and they were written specifically about the years Jesus spent on earth. They give us a real-life look at how Jesus not only lived out his faith, but how he shared it and taught others to do the same as well. You see, when the disciples who dedicated their lives to following Jesus encountered him, their lives changed. And like we do with any life-changing experience, the disciples wanted to share it. In fact, it's what Jesus led them to do. But take a look at just a few examples of how they actually did it. Then he told John's disciples, "Go back to John and tell him what you have seen and heard." Here's another. Andrew, Simon Peter's brother, was one of these men who heard what John said, then followed Jesus. Okay, last one. The next day, Jesus decided to go to Galilee. He found Philip and said, "Come, follow me." These seem like pretty simple statements, right? Well, that's because they are. The way Jesus calls us to share him with others is actually really simple. For the disciples back then and for us today, it isn't about having all the right answers or arguing all of the right points or even being 100% sure all the time about what we believe. It's just about sharing what we've seen and heard. It's about telling others what we've experienced ourselves in following Jesus. No weirdness, no memorization, no arguing, no awkwardness, no judging. Turn right now to someone next to you and tell them about your favorite show to binge watch. Okay, come on back to me. But do you see how easy that was? You didn't have to overthink it or remember a bunch of facts or be confrontational. You just shared something you loved. Sharing about Jesus is the same as talking about anything we love. Don't we tell our friends about cool things we've experienced? I met Oprah! Don't we tell people about things that we really enjoy? I really enjoy almond butter and pickle sandwiches. Don't we tell others about things we're really excited about? Of course we do. We talk about what we've experienced. We share how it made us feel. We talk about what we know to be true for our own lives. And we share it with others because we love it so much. We want them to experience it too. That's what sharing Jesus is all about. It's part of what he's called us to do, to share what we've experienced in following him with others. Following Jesus means sharing him with others. When we choose to follow Jesus' lead for our lives, part of that means sharing our faith with others the way he both showed us and told us to do. It means talking about what we've experienced God do in and around our lives. Following Jesus is one of the coolest things we can do with our lives. And one of the best things we can do is start sharing it with others. Following Jesus means sharing him with others. But what does that mean for our everyday lives? What does sharing Jesus with others look like at school, on our sports team, with our parents who don't go to church? Well, it's gonna look a little bit different for each of us, but there are a couple of things we can keep in mind that will help us feel more comfortable sharing Jesus with the people in our lives. For starters, you can start sharing Jesus with others through the way you act. Act. You can care about the people you're talking to more than you care about having the right answers or proving a point or avoiding potential awkwardness. When you approach others with care, it will change the way they hear and receive your words. The way you act towards others can be a reflection of Jesus' love and what he's doing in your life. It's one of the best ways to demonstrate exactly what he's done for you and for all of us. So approach others with kindness, care, and love. Then you can share Jesus with others through the words you say. Talk about what Jesus has done for you. How have you experienced God in your own life? What has following Jesus meant for you? How has it changed your life? What have you seen God do for you that you want to